All right, my friends, welcome to episode 411 of Prof and Dev Play Games. Before we get into the intros, just going to ask you, if you like our podcast, please rate us on your podcast service of choice. Ratings really help with visibility. We would love for you to do that thing. Thank you so much. My name is Larry. I am a professor and I play video games. Over there is Anthony. He is a developer and he also plays video games, but he does make some as well, or at least talk about making them, which is great.
It's true. I've released some. It's true. I have made some games.
How has your weekend been?
Busy, but that's okay. Good. That's just what it's that time of year. A lot going on. Friday was the System Era holiday party, which was a blast.
Nice.
That was a good
That's
time.
Awesome.
My wife went with me this year.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Cool.
Not the kids. It's not a kid place.
Yeah.
We dropped the kids off at grandparents. But that did require a lot of driving around to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that was a good time. I've worked there for like 4 years now, and my wife has met 0 people from that company.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because it's COVID. Like it started
in
COVID and never went. There was none of those like real parties to go to or any kind of like gatherings. So this was the first one. But it was good. It was fancy. They wanted you could wear whatever you want, but they were encouraged if you wanted to get fancy. So we got fancy, and it was nice.
Very cool. Very cool.
That, and then we went to Panto on yesterday,
Nice.
which is becoming a yearly tradition. It's a theater in a little town north of Tacoma that puts on a Panto every year, and that was a lot of fun. The kids love it. Definitely know that my son is not too old for it yet because he was still cracking up the entire time.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Yep. You're like, yes.
Still in it.
Yep. But then a lot of running around there and then getting back. And then my son has had 2 choir performances this week as well. Thursday and then last night. So have to get him to where he needs to be. So it's been a lot of running around. All I'm saying, it's been a bit busy. This was the gauntlet to finish off the week. And then actually everything's a little bit quieter through the new year. So that makes me happy.
The holidays are busy, that's for sure.
Yeah, and this was a lot of the main busy stuff.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, this week we are talking about the Game Awards, which just happened. We'll talk about some of the winners, some of the announcements, and some of the critiques, I suppose. Anthony, I think, subtitled our podcast last week of making very wrong predictions, but I think we did a pretty good job, actually.
We did, generally, definitely on the winners part. I think we were pretty accurate there. Predictions were pretty wild and all over the place.
The announcements?
But,
those.
Yeah. But, I don't even know. Did we get any of those?
I don't think so. No, I was thinking more.
I was pretty sure. I'm like, a lot of stuff that got announced, I was not even on my radar.
No, it was stuff I didn't even heard of, and I'm very excited about. I just, I said things like 1,000-Year Door gets a date, and I don't even.
Yeah, I said Hades 2 would either get a trailer or a shadow drop, like the yearly. Nothing. Crickets, which I'm like, what's going on with Hades 2, guys?
Exactly. I was surprised about that. So, where do you want to start? Announcements, winners, or critiques?
Let's go with some of the winners. I don't think we have to go through everything, but
no, definitely not.
The high level thing.
Do some of the big ones. Mm-hmm.
BG3 won 5, including Game of the Year. And of all the places, I would think that they would win, especially.
Yeah.
And they even gave Neil Newborn.
Newborn, yeah.
Newborn, not Newborn. Got that.
And I was going to ask about that. It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because for me, I still think it's Ben Starr because like that whole fucking game is like on his back, whereas with Asterion, you maybe don't even have him in your party.
It's true.
I guess enough people did, and he was really kind of the face of that game.
In a lot of ways, it felt like it. From a standpoint of, I felt like that character rose up a lot in the word of mouth and the memes more than other characters. Shadowheart, also to a point. When they put out the stats recently, like 51% of all people romance Shadowheart, which is
that's
shocking to me.
Yeah, I'm going hard. I'm going hard for Shadowheart.
We can fix her.
Right now I'm in the Gauntlet of Shar. I don't think I'm fixing her. I think I'm enabling her. Well, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, they won 5.
Yeah, it was Game of the Year.
No, not narrative.
They didn't win narrative. They won. What else did they win? Best performance.
Yep, best performance. Scrolling down, what else did they win? Oh, they won best community support.
Yep. Which they've been honestly kicking ass.
Best RPG. They have been. Those patched
best RPG.
And there should be one more. Oh, there it is. Best multiplayer.
Yeah, that's a weird one. But I mean, I guess so. Like I haven't done the multiplayer.
I haven't either.
But I have a coworker, and she has her solo game of Baldur's 3 going, and then she has 2 multiplayer games going with her and she's been playing every week since the game released with her multiplayer group.
That is very cool.
It kind of replaces the like playing tabletop D&D to a point. Yeah, it sounds like from her stories and how she just talks about it. I'm like, oh, this is. She's talking about in the same way that I hear people talk about their tabletop D&D experiences. So it's really cool. So I get it. I just haven't experienced it. I haven't decided to dive into that side of things. But I mean, with what's there, I mean, it's not outlandish. It was Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
I'm just surprised that Diablo 4 wasn't. Maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe it came in second place, but I feel like that just rings as more of a multiplayer game to me.
It's true.
But
for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, trying to think if anything is there. Like, there's definitely something to be said about the way that Baldur's Gate 3 lets the game work. Yeah. That type of CRPG work in a multiplayer setting is kind of innovative.
Has any CRPG done? No, never mind.
There's been
Divinity 2 did that.
Yeah. I mean, this is Larian's thing. They've been working on it for quite a while. And there's been some side ones that have tried, but I don't think anyone's been nearly as successful as Baldur's Gate 3 has in making it work.
Yeah.
And then Street Fighter 6, I mean, it's just a very technical marvel on the networking standpoint. Wonder is pretty interesting. I would say Wonder is a lot like Soul's Messages type thing.
Yeah, I would have voted for Wonder. I think I said that last week just because of how I think innovative it is. But it does riff off of Dark Souls.
Which is crazy to think of Nintendo doing that. But the Souls stuff and From stuff have been very influential pretty much to every type of game since
I feel like
Souls blew up.
Since Souls has blown up, or even I just feel like Nintendo and From Software has been in very interesting conversation with each other back and forth. Like, and this is Nintendo taking a page from them. I don't know if anything's been out like that they've directly done that, but I can't see how they didn't take a page.
Now the design is close enough. Like, you're like, okay, you're trying to accomplish similar things, but you have different executions because different games. And then the Elden Ring kind of feeling very Breath of the Wild like in its open world design. So yeah, very interesting. But those are the 5 for Baldur's Gate 3, and then the second, Alan Wake 2 got 3.
Yes, he got
3 different ones, which
best
was
game direction.
Yep.
Best narrative and best art direction.
Yep.
I mean, for sure.
With all of those.
Yes, I feel like especially game direction and narrative was like with a fucking bullet.
Art direction, I'm trying to find that one. Who? There was a number in there.
It was Hi-Fi Rush, Liza P, Mario Wonder, and Zelda.
Yeah.
I just don't know. This one always kind of perplexes me. I just feel like the animation in Mario Brothers Wonder is so great. They're so bespoke for each character, and it just does new stuff for Mario that it hasn't done before. It's a marvel. I think. But Liza P, not Liza P. Hi-Fi Rush also.
I think has a pretty great, strong thing there.
Tears of the Kingdom is too much like Breath of the Wild in terms of art.
It's a Studio Ghibli
Yeah.
Zelda. I mean, that's what they are, hands
Yeah.
down. I'm like, yep,
Yep.
this is what I'd imagine a interactive Studio Ghibli film to be. Is Breath of the
Yes.
Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Like, yep.
Which is why it makes so much sense that they're doing a live action Zelda.
The director made a thing talking about how he wanted it to be live action Studio Ghibli.
Well, really?
Like yeah, the director, he was in discussion,
okay.
made like a quote of being like one of his big inspirations and like driving force is trying to make it feel like live action Studio Ghibli.
Okay, well, that's at least the right thing to say.
I'm like, cool, you at least have some understanding of what you're trying to do.
Yes,
Now let's see if they can
exactly.
execute it. Don't know. And it's a long road from starting to make a movie to it actually coming out. But
that's a good start.
All right. But yeah, I felt like that was all fine. Like Alan Wake 2 got recognition where I felt like where it deserved it.
You know where the best recognition for Alan Wake 2 was? Like, I'm glad it won those awards, but that fucking musical number
that was
blew
so
the roof
good.
off that fucking place. It was unbelievable.
Okay. It was amazing. One, this is like the third rendition or edit of Herald of Darkness that I've heard. So there's the version in the game, which if you can like after you do the level, you can play it back on like in something in the game where it's like you can listen to music and different
like
music.
An archive or something like that.
Yeah, and I think it was something like 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. And then there's an official music video they put out, and it's 8 minutes. And then the version they did at the Game Awards is a 4-minute cut of it. Right. Where they cut out like the jazz number, and some of the guitar solos and the big long transition pieces. But I'm kind of amazed at how well they've cut it down, reconfigured it, re-edited it, and it still works and is incredible. And that performance, Sam Lake looks so happy dancing at the end.
Oh my God, he does. He's just like on top of the fucking world.
I'm doing this. Like,
oh my God, his fucking body language. Ugh.
20 years from Max Payne to this, over 20. Pretty insane for Remedy. And that I saw some other people through my industry socials that haven't played Alan Wake 2, have no familiarity with it, and are like, what in the hell fever dream am I watching right now? And I'm like, yeah, if you have no reference, you're gonna be like, what the hell is all this?
I love how they did it. They just paid homage to the actors. Like Mr. Dorr was there, and then the voice actor for Alan Wake was there, and the physical actor for Alan Wake was there. It's fucking genius, man.
Yeah. I mean, it was everything. Poets of the Fall playing as old gods of Asgard. Supposedly they weren't able to get their like work permits until just a couple days before.
Oh,
it's like they only had a few days to get prepped for this.
Jesus.
And they just nailed it.
It was for a second there I was like, are they lip syncing? And I'm like, no, this is way shorter. There's no way they did this. This is live. No, they're doing this.
This is live. They're doing it.
Fuck, man. So fucking good.
Yeah.
I just like we were watching. I had it on. I watched most of the Game Awards with no sound. We were watching some TV show, and I just was watching kind of the things go. I didn't really need to listen to the Game Awards to know what was going on. But when that came on, pause the TV, turn the fucking sound on. I'm watching this. My wife's
your wife like, what is this?
Yes. What the fuck? She looked at it for a couple of seconds, like, nope. Yeah. So.
This is art. That's what it is. This is
exactly.
Art.
This is. I'm having a hard time not choosing this game as game of the year for me personally. I have not touched the sticks on this thing, but like, if everything that I would ever want of a video game as a Stephen King fan is fucking here.
Kind of, yeah.
It really is.
They knew what they were doing, and I can't wait to see the New Game Plus stuff that they add. It's such a. I'm like, okay. It's cool, I guess spoilers for the game, that the game ends on the fact like, yeah, this is a spiral, this is happening over and over. Like, you kind of know it's looping. It's like, oh no, the New Game Plus is, now that you know it's a spiral, is not just playing the same thing through again. There's, theoretically, you've gone up the spiral some.
Right, exactly.
And so things are different.
That's going to be wild.
What the hell? Like, and you know it's going to be not huge stuff, but probably pretty important stuff that will change. That you're just like, oh, well, that recontextualizes what's going on and what's going to be happening. And supposedly there's a new ending at the end of New Game Plus, or at least additional parts to the end. So I got to figure out how I'm going to take that all in. Yeah, I was happy to see that. I felt like we're talking about, like, we can transition to critiques later. This was not the Herald of Darkness part and that whole thing, not a thing I would critique. I'm like, this is what I want to see at the Game Awards.
That's
like, this is
100%.
such a celebration of this game, and like kind of a very high point of the game and kind of the industry through the year. Because whenever people started playing it and they got to that chapter, you just heard people talk about, like, oh my God, this chapter of Alan Wake 2. I don't want to spoil it, but holy crap. You just heard person after person after person say that.
Well, that's the thing we wanted at the Game Awards, is celebrating the games, the industry, more of that. So yeah, I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
We can dig into a few more winners. Before we do, I do want to talk about one game that didn't win shit, and they didn't win anything in 2018 either. It's interesting to me. Spider-Man won nothing.
It doesn't surprise me. I think they're very good games.
Yep.
But I wouldn't put them ahead of the game.
Right?
The games here, like,
yeah,
Spider-Man 2. Like, Spider-Man 2. I haven't played it. I did watch a good chunk of it, and it looks very neat, and I love the story in it, and looks very fun to play. But I'm like, is that better? Would I say this is better than Baldur's Gate 3? No. I wouldn't. They're different types of games, but I think Spider-Man 2 plays in Spider-Man. They play it somewhat safe, which is fine.
Yeah.
They just very, very well executed of that action blockbuster, as you were saying.
Yep.
Which is fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they sell well. It's highly. They reviewed very well. I just don't. When I think of Game of the Year, they're not going to be Game of the Year.
The analog to movies is really there, because the summer blockbuster is like, we don't fucking care if we win awards because we made a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. Spider-Man 2 is going to be the highest selling of the year besides Hogwarts, probably.
Yeah. Not shocking at all.
But yeah, they didn't win in 2018 either.
Yeah, it didn't win any in Best Action. This is the Best Action Adventure.
Was Zelda.
Zelda. That's the one Zelda got. Zelda only got one this year. And I don't feel... I think that just shows... I'm like, man, this is just such a stacked year. If Tears of the Kingdom wins one,
yep.
You're like, wow, this year has been insane.
I thought the Game Awards did a pretty good job, or the jury did a pretty good job of awarding, like, sharing the love. Like, different games won, and most games won at least one. Like, Hi-Fi Rush got a nod. Final Fantasy 16 won one.
Yep.
Hi-Fi Rush got Best Audio Design. Street Fighter 6 won Best Fighting. That's right.
Yep. Armored Core 6 got Best Action Game.
Yep.
Like, it definitely feels like Best Family Game went to Mario Wonder.
Yeah.
Totally. I think Sam went to Pikmin 4.
It did. Yeah. I'm like, oh, fuck. Too many gaming podcasts I listen to are like, y'all are sleeping on Pikmin 4. I'm like, oh, maybe I should check.
I've always felt like I was sleeping on Pikmin, but they never grabbed me. Like, I think they're from... I've played 1 and 2. I gave 1 and 2 very strong, like, time, and was like, I'm gonna try to commit to this, and they just didn't grab me. They're just a little bit too simplistic for me overall. It's fine. They're just not my type of game, but they keep making them, and I think they do fairly well, and people do love them. So there's clearly an audience, and which is great. Best adaptation went to Last of Us. That was another one.
Duh.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, they had the Mario movie on there, and I was like, I could see it going either way, depending on how they want to talk about this. Like,
I feel like I agree. I feel like so many of the podcasts I listen to, which are also people who are on jury, have liked Mario but didn't love it, but just loved Last of Us. So,
sure.
Yeah. But I think they're both great adaptations. Mario is way, 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 way better than it had any right to be. So
sure.
I mean, I've watched that probably like 6 times this year. Like, I
watched it on a plane.
You watched it on a plane?
I did. When did I watch
that for the first time?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I never went to the theater to see it.
Yeah.
I didn't rent it. Where did I watch it? Did I watch it when I came down to the? I think I watched it on the way down to the concert.
Interesting.
In LA. I was like, oh, it's here. All right. Because it had. I think that's the only time I had been flying recently. Yeah, it was that. And yeah, it was. Thought it was cute. It was fine. Yeah. Yeah, as you said, better than it had any right to be.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Really did.
Oh, Baldur's Gate 3 also won the fan vote as well.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's right.
100% voted by fans. The Baldur's Gate 3 community came out strong.
I was ready for Genshin to win that one again.
To win that one. But
most anticipated game went to Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
And they are totally trolling with their theme song trailer that they put out. They have like it's even the still here on the IGN page that has the winners.
Aerith, or is that?
Yeah, it's Aerith with her hands up, praying, eyes open, and I'm like, someone transposed it with the exact pose from PS1, and it's before a big event for her in PS1, and everyone's like, oh no, are you gonna do this again? Are we killing her? Are we doing this? Are we changing it? But they're clearly Square's marketing is like, oh no, we're gonna play this one up a little bit.
Nice.
So, yeah, generally the winners all fit.
Yeah, I felt like that.
Then it got to. I mean, do you want to go to criticisms or do you want to go for announcements?
Let's do announcements first, because then we can lead into criticisms.
Okay.
Do I have a This is all winners. Let's see. I was looking for a list, but we can also just off the top of our heads.
I mean, top of my head, there was 2 that stood out. Actually, 3 that stood out.
Okay.
And one's very small because it was in a supercut, which I'll go first with that one. Sega announced 5 games with trailers and a supercut. One of those games was Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, right.
And I don't know if it's a remake or another in the series. People are thinking it's a remake because it has the style. It's not Jet Set Radio Future stylings. It's very much Jet Set Radio, like through Tokyo. I'm here for it. I want another official Jet Set Radio. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk came out as kind of an homage to all of that.
Right.
But
yeah,
I still want Jet Set Radio. There was that as like a small thing, like, ooh, I'm excited for that. Then there was Monster Hunter Wilds, which is a year later than I expected, but that's what we get.
I'm shocked it was 2025. Like, really shocked, because Capcom said they have another new entry in a long-running series that's going to bring them a lot of money by the end of March, basically 2024.
Yeah,
that's not this.
Nope. But either way, you get a mount in this one, and it looks to be very open world Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense. Like the next place for them to go, really.
Yeah. And this is definitely not Rise. This is definitely not Rise. This is the Worlds team.
Oh yeah. Well, it's going to be shorthand as MHW again.
Yeah, because that won't be confusing.
No, exactly. Kojima announced his Xbox project, which is titled Overdose.
Yep.
OD, and it's just people screaming and saying this weird fucking sentence over and over again.
Yep. And it's being collaborated with Jordan Peele for some reason.
Yeah.
I'll never play it probably.
But exactly. That's how I feel too.
Kojima is continuing to do Kojima things.
Yes, he is. This time for Xbox.
Yeah. The other one I was actually like straight up excited for was Light No Fire.
Light No Fire, yeah. Yep, absolutely.
One, to hear that Hello Games has been working on this for 5 years already. Crazy.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're using a lot of the tech that they learned from No Man's Sky.
It does look like No Man's Sky tech, that's for sure.
Why would they reinvent that?
No, of course not. You perfected over the unfucking your game to keep going. And they're like, well, instead of doing the whole universe or whatever, it's a planet. It's one living planet.
Yep.
And like, it's the most ambitious game yet. Oh, fuck. Don't say that, man.
Yeah, do not say that. But I mean, they're like, don't use phrases like the first real open world. A planet that is, but I mean, from a scale standpoint, I do think he's talking about an open world that's the size of planet Earth.
A fucking world. Yeah, it's an entire world.
Yeah, a real world. Like, we're not like trying to condense it. No, it's like, no, this is the world. That's like how much skies you have.
You know, like the first question when people were asking like real questions, would be like, okay, I'm going to start here. I'm going to circumnavigate the fucking globe. How long does it take me in game time? It's like, it's going to take you 42 days. Okay. I think that's what I'm the most excited about. Although the Moon Studios game, which was, what was the title of that? I'm scrolling to find it. That's not it.
Here's a fun one so let's say this is trying to do a planet, because they mentioned throughout the trailer Earth and everything. This type of Earth, that type of Earth. So let's say they're trying to make an open world that is the size of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you ask your question, how long would it walk around it? I just Googled, like, how long would it take if you could walk the globe, Earth?
Mm-hmm.
Continuous. If you could do this continuous, 24 hours a day, would take you 345 days.
Holy fuck. There you go. Yep.
And are they trying to do that? I mean, they showed that there's flying in the game, and I'm sure there'll be other ways to like move way quicker.
Course. Yeah.
But
if you wanted to, because someone's going to fucking want to, you would solve that by like, it's not a planet as big as Earth, right? But I thought you said it was like Earth size or something like that.
I know, and that's the thing. Are they truly just going to make? You know what? I don't want to speculate, and God, they shouldn't let people speculate.
Yes, because we're gonna get very excited.
Yeah. But I'm very curious. Yeah, didn't have zero release window for Light No Fire. It's just.
Oh no, not at all. Yeah.
Hopefully sometime. But they're also going to continue to be updating No Man's Sky as well. So.
Yeah, they're not done with that, and that's exciting too.
Yeah.
I just. They've earned goodwill back, and they came on stage and they're like, we're going to fucking burn it down again.
Yeah, they could.
But I share with you, very excited that they've been working on it for 5 years. So that means it's, a couple years from now.
Yeah.
Perhaps. The new Moon Studios game is No Rest for the Wicked, which IGN's calling a Diablo-like ARPG, which I don't remember catching that from the trailer, but I just remember how beautiful it looked. But maybe it was a fucking ARPG.
I have heard that it's an ARPG. I just didn't hear.
Interesting.
That's the type of ARPG. I just don't know if the trailer actually shows that. So I want to say I was watching Rest for the Wicked. I really wonder if the trailer actually showed.
It was a lot of CG.
Yeah, that's what I thought with it, and it was more like they weren't showing what the gameplay really was.
I thought there was something in the middle that showed gameplay, but I'm scrubbing through it right now, and all I'm seeing is CG, in fact, so I guess I don't know shit. Oh, no. I was right. In the middle. Oh, yeah, it looks like ARPG.
Okay.
Yeah, as that perspective. There's like a 3-second video clip in the middle, then it goes back to CG, and then there's another. Yeah. Okay, it looks like Diablo. That's
interesting. It's already up on Steam.
Oh, is it? Okay.
You can wish list it.
Okay.
It's not out. It's just to wish list, but they went live with the actual like Steam page.
Well, it's Q1 2024, so it's coming by March.
Yeah.
Unless there's a delay, so. I just think
you like me an action RPG, so
yeah, you do. When I think of Anthony, I think of ARPG. What does the A in Anthony stand for? ARPG.
ARPG. Oh boy.
Here, Dota 2. No, that's not what I want. Just for the Wicked. Oh yeah, I already wish listed it. Never mind.
There you go.
Yep, I did that. Gorgeous, looks good. Sorry, Final Fantasy 16 Shadow dropped their first DLC.
Yeah, I have not downloaded it. I have other things to play, but
yeah, fuck.
They Shadow dropped one that went live the night of Game Awards, and then there's another coming next spring, I think.
Yeah, spring 24.
Yeah. Both set before the end of the game, though. I'm looking for something set at the end of the game.
Hoping so maybe you're not going to get that because Yoshi P said a couple days ago or during interviews around Game Awards time, like they're not doing a spin-off or a sequel to 16. Right. They're on to the next project.
Okay. I guess not.
So maybe 16 is...
That's what it is. A little bit ambiguous of ending. That's fine.
Yeah. Maybe they didn't like the reception, or I don't know what. Who knows?
It wouldn't surprise. They might just want to be moving on.
Yeah.
I don't know what the next project would be, other than more Final Fantasy 14 for Yoshi P. And Creative Business Unit 3.
Yeah.
But what else? Square did Visions of Mana. Got revealed. I'm totally playing.
Yeah, that's a brand new Mana game.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, this is new. It's been a long time since a straight up new one.
Like, hello. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
There's a game in here that I'm surprised I was excited about. I don't know if I'll play it, but I'd like to watch it. When I was watching it, I was like, this is Alien Isolation, but in Jurassic Park. Turns out that's what Saber Interactive was trying to go for. They were inspired by Alien Isolation. They wanted to do it just after the first movie, which is why the scene in the fucking the trailer is the kitchen, whatever, from that first movie, which I remember so vividly as a kid, just sitting there in the theater, just watching out like, holy fuck, there's a raptor in there.
Jurassic Park being touted as like when we were young, more of a like kid movie. It's not.
That is not a kid movie. What?
That movie is terrifying at times, and it is violent.
Like, it's got dinosaurs. Kids will love it. Like, no, it's really deadly and scary as fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. Hellblade got a trailer, which actually I missed that, but I heard that it doesn't even have a fucking date.
Nope.
Again.
It's just more Hellblade. And you're like, yep, okay.
Yep.
We know what this is.
Tale of Two Sons getting a remake.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? I have a question for you. So there's a game that looks fucking gorgeous. Tales of Kenzera Zao, which is an EA original. Don't know if you caught that. Did you see that?
I did not see that one.
Okay, so hit the trailer and watch it. You just need to watch the splash screen about who's involved with it, and then I have a question for you. I'll let you watch it before I tell you, because I'm curious your reaction.
I would love it if this page actually would play their trailers for me. It won't.
Oh, interesting. Okay, because it's playing.
I use Firefox. It probably is unhappy.
Yeah. Once you get.
I'll just look for a video. It shouldn't be that hard. It's
at 12 seconds is what I'm asking you to look at.
Okay.
Even though the rest of the trailer is cool, but I'm going to ask you a question about what's at 12 seconds. See if you know.
Oh, yeah. This was the game. I heard about this, and I was like, that's a thing. I've heard that the creator of this game, because this went up in the Critical Role subreddit, people were like, what? Why are they attached to this? They're friends with like the main creator of this game.
Okay.
I think they'll be
voice actors, maybe, or
with support from Critical Role. One, they're probably giving them money to do this game.
Oh, I see. But like Critical Role is interesting.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing some voices in it.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be my thought. Not that they are like making this game anyway. I think.
Well, I was like, is this like an RPG? Is this a CRPG? And like, no, this is a fucking side-scrolling fucking Metroidvania almost. Or maybe it is a Metroidvania. It looks gorgeous, man. So
it does.
I'm excited about
that too. EA Originals. At least they tried to do something.
I mean, fucking Joseph Fares stuff has been good for them, and then
Yeah.
I liked Unraveled was really fucking good.
And that's the thing, that the originals have been decent. It's just funny. I'm like, that's like the only way EA seems to do new things now at all. Is like, we'll give you a pittance of money to a small game to say that we are doing more than FIFA and Madden.
Exactly.
And Battlefield.
That's the only things right. It's whatever Respawn's doing, and then my EA Originals team is doing.
And then Respawn just they're like, as long as you keep making Apex make money, which we can talk about. Trailer announcement there. You can do some Final Fantasy VII Apex crossover.
Holy shit, I forgot about that. Yes,
yeah,
that's right.
I'm like, fine, January 9th, I'll play some Apex to see what the hell this is.
Oh my god, have you played Apex since we played with Brad all those years ago?
I've a game here or there. I suck at FPSs. So I'm going to drag everyone down. That's fine.
That's the best part. World of Goo 2.
Oh,
what
yeah.
the fuck? Wow.
Have you played World of Goo or heard of World of Goo?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes. When I got my gaming computer
most
in 2009 or whatever. Yeah, I played World of Goo. I haven't thought about World of Goo in forever.
I know. No one has. And now it's back. And I'm okay with this.
That's crazy.
Played a bunch of that at PopCap. We were very amused by that game.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy to me that they just haven't done anything for so long with it.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, has the developer like done a bunch of other stuff, or they're just like, I made a fuck ton of money off of World of Goo, I don't need to do anything else for a while?
Tootie Boy is the company. Have they done anything? They haven't done anything else, I don't think. No, their website is just World of Goo.
Wow.
And you can buy it from them right directly, $20 through PayPal or Amazon payments right on their website.
Oh, okay. Guess you can't buy it on Steam?
I bet it's on Steam too. But this is a DRM free version.
It's there, yeah. Yeah,
it's also on the Switch. It's everywhere. They've put it on everything, and I'm sure it's done very well because I think they're just 2 people who've made it.
Well, there's only like 3,000. There's only 4,000 total reviews.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yep. Crazy.
Is this deck? Well, it's playable on deck. Good enough. Wow. Very cool. Very, 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 very cool. Let's see what else. There's a lot of stuff. There
was a lot of trailers and general announcement. Blade got an announcement from Arcane.
Oh, right.
Lion, which I'm very curious how they're going to approach that.
It's going to be on Xbox and PC.
Straight up action-y, or is it going to be? Because I mean, I could see how
Dishonored
they could
style, I would assume.
so I'm like, I could see them adapt some elements of Dishonored to this. And Prey. I'm like, is it going to be immersive sim, or are they going to be much more just straight action-y? And I'm very curious when they show more. They didn't put a date, I believe, on it at all. I think they're just working on it. And boy, hopefully Arcane Lion doesn't hit the same problems that Arcane Austin did. My God, we do not need another Redfall.
No, definitely not.
But I'm pretty sure that even the problems that led to Redfall aren't just problems with Arcane Austin, is the thing. Like,
you think it's also problems with Arcane Leon?
I mean, that they're owned by it's not like they're completely independent. I think it could be Bethesda and above Microsoft.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I think Microsoft still needs to somewhat prove that they can shepherd like super high quality games out, because they haven't for a bit.
Redfall and then Starfield to me say that story to me. I know Starfield's way better than Redfall came out, but still, it's not. Yeah, I read something today. I read an opinion piece about how it feels like maybe this is not fair, maybe this is incorrect, but mostly folks who are working on Starfield must only play Bethesda games. I don't think that's true, but
no,
it does speak to a little bit of like a lack of evolution of the game play. But yeah, it's just what they like, maybe.
Yeah, but there's definitely a thing there. It's like I need to see not even just those games, but with like for the last couple of years, Halo Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the games Microsoft has had, like first party working for them, like outside of like something like Hi-Fi Rush coming out, that seems like it very much was able to just skirt underneath a lot of the like pressures of a big company like Microsoft. Like,
Yeah, right.
they've had a hell of a time being like the stewards to get high quality games out.
Yep.
So which doesn't surprise me. Big giant companies, it's really hard. There's a lot of voices in the room constantly that you have to battle against. And so, but I would like to see Microsoft be like, no, we can do this. And they just don't have anything immediately coming up to do that with. So
we have such a, we got more of a picture of 2024 after the Game Awards, but I still don't feel like we have like a rock solid picture of what's coming, so.
Oh yeah, it wasn't an announcement. Another trailer that I'm excited for because it showed gameplay was Metaphor Refantazio.
I think I missed that.
Fantasy Persona.
Oh yeah, no, I know what it is. I just missed the trailer.
Yeah, they had a new trailer and they showed the combat. It's turn-based still. It looks like a Persona game, just fantasy. Crazy stylized menus, whole thing. I'm just like, yep, all right. So this is not Persona 6. We wait another year for Persona 6, but we get this spin-off thing.
That's a nice holdover.
And they did give it a release window of fall 2024. So
that's cool. Well, that's exciting. There's more. I mean, the Tales of Kenzera game I was talking about comes out April 2024. I forget what we were just talking about. That comes out Q1 2024. Oh, the fucking Moon Studios game. Like, there's some stuff filling out the calendar. I just said in the Discord, like, I still believe it. I don't need a game for another 2 fucking years. I would just play the games from this year, God damn. I don't need new games.
A friend here where I live, he has just finished his 5th run through of Baldur's Gate 3.
My God, that must be like.
And he's gonna do it. He's not ever been a big CRPG fan.
Really?
In this game, yep.
Wow.
And he had not played tabletop, didn't really know the D&D rules. We were chatting today, and his like 5th playthrough, like he is full in on min-maxing those rule set now. Like,
oh man,
he's playing a throwing barbarian on his last playthrough.
Oh shit! Just, like,
throwing spears and like picking up and throwing anybody at other people. Just incredible. And he's like, yeah, this is probably the best game I played in a decade.
How does someone go from not playing CRPGs or D&D into this game and just playing the fuck out of it like that? Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
They did it.
That's
and
very
he's
cool.
Just like, this is amazing. And he just tries different things and is just like, what happens if I do it this way? And what's the game gonna do? And he's always been pleasantly surprised with what ends up happening. So, and just rolling with it. So I don't know. So I think for him, he's basically been playing that game since it came out. Nothing. And like he's dabbled in other games here and there, but always just has come back to Baldur's Gate 3.
Wow, that's cool. Well, I'm back into it hard, and we'll talk about it a little bit. But before we do, let's maybe move on to the critiques.
Yeah. So we talked a lot of announcements, a lot of trailers. I think this year came at the expense of the actual awards side of things and celebration side of things.
I'd say the awards and the people who make the fucking games.
Yeah, it just came at that expense in the end. I don't think it was. I know it's always a fine line that has to be walked here because this is a for-profit awards show.
Yes, 100%.
I don't know. Are the Oscars for-profit?
I don't think so. They're put on by.
I want to say they aren't. Like,
I mean, I'm sure they make money, but they're not trying to maximize every dollar.
Yeah, and it's not like, so this is the and I've always brought this up as a difference of going like, okay, Oscars you don't watch the Oscars to see trailers for new movies coming up. No, they don't do that.
Yep.
But they also I don't care as much like people aren't tuning in for announcements at that. People historically tuned in for the Oscars, and the viewership has been going down because I just think people don't
for all
care
awards,
as much about movies and the stars and the spectacle of it, which is unfortunate, but I still think the Oscars ring true for being like, we are here celebrating the movies that have come out this past year and the people that made them. And that's what we do.
Yep.
Watch it or not, that's what we do.
Yep.
The Game Awards are not that. Honestly, the Game Awards are closer to the MTV Movie Awards.
They very much are. And if, DICE Awards are really, I guess,
it's
where
the DICE and the GDC Awards are that.
Yeah.
There's not announcements at those. Those are, we're here to give credit to people in the industry. And the thing is, those are streamed live. Anyone can watch those awards. The public just doesn't tune into them.
They just don't. I don't.
Gamers and the people who play it don't care. And that's okay. They don't have to. But it's not an event thing of like, I want to see all the people making the games that I play. Like, the general public doesn't care. And so Keighley with the Game Awards is really trying to find that line where it can be a celebration of the games, but also have viewership. Because without viewership, there's no point of this happening.
Yes, exactly.
And I think this year just went too far to the marketing side of things. It's swung back and forth over the years, I'll be honest.
Yes. It's an overcorrection too from very long speeches from last year. Very long speech. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that was a critique. Like, there's definitely I felt like they're cutting people off from talking too quickly overall. But I also understand you don't want people going on for the 9-minute speech, or however much.
But give them 2 minutes,
Yeah, that would be a thought. Like, once they're up that, they can have like 2. But it did feel like rushed, and then there were some awards that weren't even on stage that I feel like should have been.
Well, and those small ones that weren't on there, he read through them so quickly and moved on to the next one. It was just like there's just no space for them. Or Doug Bowser came up during one of those and took the award, but the rest of them were just like, maybe no one was there, but like even just a video or something. I don't know, man.
Yeah, which would be the way to do it. And a lot of times, if people can't be there, they could just give a video to play that's like, hey, you can make a 2-minute video that you won. Go ahead,
right?
We'll play it. Yeah, that was the one, because it was like specifically the indie game, because like Sea of Stars won that. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why aren't these people on stage? They deserve to be
Why isn't
there.
Sabotage there?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they can't get there. Like, that's the thing. I doubt the Game Awards is paying to fly these people out.
Right.
Except for like some of the performance piece stuff that they're doing. Like Herald of Darkness, I'm sure that they paid to have that done. I don't think any of those people were doing that for free.
They wouldn't need work permits if it was for free. So
and I don't think they would just do it for free to begin with. I don't think it would be legitimate to ask them to do it for free. So
no, not at all. Yep.
So there's just some weirdness there. I wish that some of that, like they did the music was just read off super quickly as well. That's where Soken won. But I'm sure Soken wasn't going to be there. But my God, he would have done a video, probably done a little, for him, probably even like a 60-second recorded video. So I feel like that was, if anything, the criticism is very valid on that aspect of things, of being like, this is a little far. I don't think Kojima needed 10 minutes. You could have done 3 or 4.
No, and that's the thing that, and Kojima's a little different because he does work in games, but the thing that stood out to me the most, and the thing that Alana Pierce hit on in her video today, that like she really solidified it for me, because I was just like, if you're a Hollywood star, apparently you get all the time that you want, but if you're making games, you don't. And she basically, she levied some pretty strong criticism of that, and it just struck home for me, like, we don't need all these Hollywood stars up there, but, I guess if you're trying to get viewership, maybe you do, but I don't know. I don't know if people are tuning into this to see Anthony Mackie.
Or Timothée Chalamet. All of that was pretty funny.
Chalamet, yeah.
The introduction of him was pretty funny, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a few that were weird. Matthew McConaughey at the beginning. Although he's in the game that he...
Yeah. Right.
That was shown off as well, so I don't know how that goes. Like, I'm like, I get it. That's the marketing piece
that
of
fits better. Yeah, exactly. Like when
I'm
Keanu
in the
was there,
game
right? You know?
that we're
Yeah.
showing. Like,
Yes.
and this is the first game I've ever been in, I think.
I would assume so. Yeah.
So I mean that's a little bit closer if it's like people directly
Yeah.
showing the game that they're in, even if they're big Hollywood stars and getting in there. But some of the other ones was like, what? Why? And in some ways, so like the game of the year was given out by Timothy Chalamet. I'm like, I would generally like it that the previous year's winner gave the award for the next year on those big awards like that.
Yep.
That would feel better. Yeah, and I don't know if it's necessary for the viewership to have the Hollywood stars. Like, people aren't even. I don't think people are watching the Game Awards for the Hollywood stars. The mass majority of the public, just the general public, are watching this for trailers. They're not watching it for stars coming out announcing trailers or awards.
No, definitely not. Well, the thing that stood out to me, I just couldn't quite articulate it until I saw Alana talk about it. I was like, yeah, that is the other thing that stood out to me in terms of who's on the stage. You know, the gaming luminaries that we know, for the most part, unless they're like Jeff Keighley's best friend, I guess, they're not on stage. You know, Phil Spencer wasn't up there. Reggie wasn't up there. Reggie's not in charge of Nintendo anymore, but he's still a personality.
Yeah.
You know, so it feels like a missed opportunity to have some of those people up there. I know they've been up there before in the past, but it was just like, it just felt like, Lana called it starfucking. I was like, God, that's right. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So.
Slight side note, aside on a weird seating arrangement that was done in a best way. So there was Ben Starr was there, and in front of Ben Starr was Todd Howard, sitting right in front of him. Ben Starr brought a friend, Jesse Cox, who is a streamer who I really enjoy. Which was funny to see him right there behind Todd Howard. But Jesse Cox on a stream was like, it was really very nice seeing Todd Howard, like, just being a real person. It's like, people weren't recording it or anything, but he's like, yeah, Todd Howard was like singing all the words for Herald for Darkness and bouncing.
Oh, fucking awesome, dude.
Like he's like, oh, it's so humanizing not to see the marketing Todd Howard, but just the like dude who's just enjoying the other stuff going on. He's like, we need more of that. And I'm like, we do. We should have more of that. We do,
that's right. Absolutely.
And I'm like, why can't you show some of that? These, like, I feel like even the old, I'll just call them the old guard currently of the game industry, they're here because they still love games. If they didn't love games, they wouldn't be here at all. You only get to see them in that marketing way. It would be nice to just see them a little bit more, like, having a good time, enjoying what they do, enjoying their peers and what the peers are making. I mean, you've got to see that a little bit out of Reggie sometimes, which was nice.
Oh, yeah.
He would you'd be up there like, yeah, this might be marketing, but I can tell, like, you are sincerely excited about what you're talking about. Like, you play games, you enjoy games, you want to be making games.
Well, I know Phil Spencer has his fucking marketing thing too, but I feel like, you know, I get that vibe from him as well. Yeah. So
they wouldn't be doing this if they didn't like games. Just hands down. Like, there's a lot more you don't make games unless you want to make games and like them. There's too much shit that goes on in the industry, and the pain of being creative of any sort. You don't do it unless you really enjoy it. Because if you only kind of enjoy it, you will leave pretty quick. You'll be like, nah, I'm out. I'm gonna go get paid way more doing something that requires so much less intensity.
Much less
yeah. So, but I watched Alana's video as well, and I was like, I agree. I agree with what she was saying, and I hopefully that Keighley will take some of that back in, and we can swing it back the other way a bit and find a good place. So I don't think it should be without the trailers and stuff like that. I get what it takes to put this thing on.
Oh no, I don't think that's no.
And I know he wants it so that this is something that the mass market will watch, and it's clear that the mass market will not watch these other very developer focused award shows. They just won't.
Yeah.
There is definitely a ceiling to those. Game Awards doesn't have a ceiling yet.
Right.
I think
Yeah,
still
it's
trying to
been
figure
more and
out
more
where
every
they
year.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is fine. And I think this year, just a little bit over the line towards marketing and too much grandeur in some way. Trying, like you said, the star fucking aspect of
Yep.
it. Like, it's like, you don't need that. Like, I get Kojima's going to be here because you're friends, and that's just kind of a bit of the show is that Kojima does something.
Yep. Exactly.
But I don't think he needs 10 minutes to do it.
I wonder. I've thought about this for several years now, only because, like, I agree with things that Alana said too about how great Keely's been at doing this thing and how hard it is. But I've never really jived with him as a presenter. Like the behind the scenes stuff, cool. Like he's really good. As a presenter, like if he was presented with an option that was the Game Awards could be 2 times as popular and 2 times as good if you had a different presenter and you were never on stage, would he take that?
I don't know.
Or would he say, no, I really like being on stage? Because it feels like he really likes being on stage with famous people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I totally understand that.
Yeah. Oh, well.
But over a year through, yeah, criticisms aside, still generally enjoyed watching it. And next year is the 10th anniversary of them. I can't believe it's been 10 years of these.
Does that include the Spike TV ones?
I don't think so.
Because they had a different name. That's what I've been wondering.
The first one was in 2014.
Wow.
And it was the predecessor to Spike Video Game Awards. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It started in 2014. Game of the year was Dragon Age Inquisition in 2014.
Yep. I could see that, even though Shadow Mordor. Yeah, Shadow Mordor was my favorite from that year. But that's the year I got back into gaming. So, goddamn, it's been almost 10 years since I've been gaming again. Yeah. That's crazy. Speaking of us gaming, what have you been playing?
Really, mainly, what was I doing at the beginning of the week? Because at the beginning of the week, I was kind of just biding my time. I was playing Final Fantasy Tactics on Steam Deck because that's just my, like, if I've got time to kill, I'm playing a mission or two in Tactics. I did have my first time where everything was pitch black and I'm just playing the Steam Deck. And that same thing you were saying, that like everything disappears except for the screen and like what you're looking at.
Yeah, right.
Because there's a point where I was playing Tactics and I was like, I can't actually see like the edge of the screen, like the Steam Deck anymore. It's just the screen like floating in air.
Isn't that crazy?
It was like so pretty.
Like, wow,
even from an old emulated game, I was like, man, this looks really good.
It's just floating in air in front of me. There's no lights on the fucking Steam Deck. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's so good. So I was in prep for Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader.
Oh,
which is a new CRPG that came out that was my December one I was waiting for, and it's like the first 40K CRPG. It's from the Owlcat, who did the Pathfinder role-playing games. They've done
what the fuck? I didn't know anything about this.
Kingmaker, and then they did Wrath of the Righteous is the one that recently came out. And people were excited. The Wrath of the Righteous was coming out, and they're like, what's their next game going to be? And they're like, oh, it's going to be Pathfinder this and Pathfinder like. They're like, no, it's Warhammer 40K.
Warhammer Rogue Trader, huh?
Rogue Trader, which is probably the only great way to do a CRPG in that world. Rogue Traders, here goes the 40K lore, are sanctioned captains, like high nobility, incredibly respected, but they're given a warrant of trade by the Emperor to spread the Imperium through the star system through trade. And they can kind of work outside the normal rules of the Imperium of man. So they get to they get to deal with aliens how they want to deal with them, or what they feel is necessary so that they can fulfill their drive for trade. So it leaves putting you in that position creates an area where they can make a lot of neat companions, so you don't immediately are like, wow, alien companion, kill them. They because no one's good in Warhammer. Everyone just wants to kill each other. Rogue traders don't immediately shoot. So that's been fun in that regard. I've probably put, I don't know, 5 hours into it. I made it through the prologue, and I'm getting through it. It's a little buggy. It's not at the polished level of Baldur's Gate 3. There is voice acting, not as much as I would like, but there's voice acting for all your companions. It's pretty well written. It's tactical combat, turn-based tactics, which has been fun. You feel very powerful in the game overall. The tactical battles are set up in the way that there's a lot of squishy kind of minions, and so they just get one shot until you get to like, and that's kind of part of the mechanics of the tactic system of wanting to like mow down the minions to gain momentum so you can do super abilities against like the bigger, tougher like chaos bosses and warp fiends. It's very grimdark. There is points of levity though, which is nice. Like they feel like they understand that what a lot of Warhammer players don't understand is that Warhammer originally and the fantasy and 40K were born out of an 80s Great Britain, and there was a lot of satire in those games, and satirization of the government of that time in the UK. And a lot of that's been lost over the years. But the levity is here in places, which is good. Yeah, I've been enjoying it, and it seems big. I'm pretty happy so far. I haven't tried putting it on the Steam Deck. Supposedly it plays pretty well on there.
I'm noticing that nowhere on the page does it say that it has anything about the Steam Deck, which I thought was weird. I thought it always.
I watched a YouTube. Yeah, unless Valve just hasn't done it yet. But although Valve would put something saying we haven't even tested it yet.
Yeah, so I'm looking where I normally would see it. I don't see anything.
That's weird. I watched a YouTube video that someone was playing it on there, and it was fine.
Okay. Yeah. I was looking at the reviews, and it says, let's see, where's the one I just read? Oh my God, it was so funny. Fuck, I lost it. Nope, here it is. Impersonated a gay pirate at his lover's funeral, shot his son and co-workers, summoned and killed 2 demons during the firefight with the rest of the funeral guests, and was gifted the dead pirate's inheritance at the end of it. And after shooting at each other, we all had a drink to the guy's memory while the priest incinerated his body with a flamethrower. Rogue Trader is pretty cool.
I haven't got to that part, but I'm very curious.
Wow. Okay. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, a lot of the down scores are it's buggy.
Yes, exactly.
I haven't had any major bugs, but there are bugs.
This came out pretty quickly after the last game because Wrath of the Righteous was 2021.
Yeah, they've been working on this one before Wrath of the Righteous came out.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was unexpected. And I've been kind of waiting for this one to just. I'm like, as long as it's reasonable, decent, I could probably get my money's worth out of it, and I have so far. Even in the first 5 hours, I'm like, okay, I'm here for this. It's well done. They clearly know the world. Alcat has experience building these type of games.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I think everyone said it's buggy, but it's less buggy than their first 2 games. So,
okay,
they're improving.
Question mark. There's a rising intonation there.
I hope they are.
Cool. Yes.
So I was playing that, and then Path of Exile had a new league that I want to play.
I saw that.
Launched Affliction, and I have started playing that. So those are my 2. CRPG on one side and an action RPG on the other side.
Very cool. For me, I'll start with Engard, which was a recommendation from Bill. who said that my daughter would love it, and he was fucking right. It's like a 4-hour game made by, fuck, I'm blanking. I will try to look it up while I'm talking, or maybe you can. It's Engard, like a fencing thing.
Fireplace Games.
Yeah, that was it. Fireplace Games.
What they made.
So, yeah, while you look that up, I'll give you a quick synopsis. You are playing a swashbuckling, sword-fighting woman, Spanish. It's set in Spain, it seems like. And you are battling your brother, who is El Vigilante, and he's training you. By the end of the first episode, there are 3 episodes, you realize that you are the main villain is the Count Duke, who arrests you, and you have to break out of jail in the second episode. And you're basically just sword fighting the whole time and learning how to parry and dodge and do special moves. And my daughter's playing it on the Steam Deck. I'm not playing it. She's playing it. I'm helping her when she gets stuck in some places, but she's doing a really good job of navigating. And she's just having a fucking blast. She's laughing. She loves the story. She keeps asking me, why does this happen? Why did you say that? I'm like, I don't know. I never played this game. Let's find out. Let's keep playing. And she's having a really great time, like parrying and then switching to her normal attack and kicking barrels into enemies. And she laughs her ass off every time that she kicks an enemy into the water off of the dock. She's loving it. It's great. It's perfect for her. She loves games where there's a female protagonist, and if they're a sword fighter, double points. So thank you, Bill. She is enjoying the fuck out of that game. And I'm enjoying watching her play it. And then I've been playing just a fuck ton of fucking Steam Deck games. I've been playing a lot of Vampire Survivors.
They just had an update, and I'm like, oh no.
You gotta get more of your trophies, man. It's goddamn, it's great, man. Like now I'm starting to get it more, and you start as you push forward a little bit more and get a little bit more resources to buy a few more upgrades and start pushing a little further. And I started playing with I usually just play with the whip guy. I haven't dabbled with really anyone else. I've just been like, oh, I really need to like level this guy all the way up so that I really understand the game. But I switched over to Gennaro, who's the knife guy. Mm-hmm. And when you fucking upgrade the knife, it turns into a fucking machine gun.
Yes,
and
it does.
I was just, oh my God, I was mowing everybody down. I was like, holy shit, this is something to fucking play with and see how this goes. So that's cool. And then I saw how many fucking characters there are through all the updates. I guess there's a lot. And I played the library, the second level, like 2 or 3 times, but I mainly just play the first level still. Like I'd never, I think you have to survive 30 minutes, right? To get to the boss or whatever.
Yeah. Well, not the boss. You will just die at 30 minutes.
Okay. I thought you were trying to get to a boss at 30 minutes. Okay.
No, 30 minutes is just is the max you can stay inside. Sorry, I'll append the base you can stay inside of level. If you do certain things, then there are certain achievements for lasting longer than 30 minutes.
Interesting.
But you have to build very specifically to do that, and you're not going to last indefinitely. You might get an extra like 10 minutes. But generally, 30 minutes up, you're going to die. Like just the game is just set that way. You just want to.
Okay, perfect.
A max run length is 30 minutes.
Are there bosses in the game? There are bosses, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Just not in the way of just running a map that way. Like,
got it. Okay.
I don't want to spoil it. Like, it just keeps opening. You just play and it just keeps opening up. So
okay, that's cool. I've made
where you move to
minutes.
different maps. Yeah. Once you feel comfortable, like you move through the maps and unlock new things. Because you'll get new. It's one of the main ways of getting new characters is going to new maps.
But I've made 20 minutes, and when I got to 20 minutes for just one time I've gotten that far, all of a sudden the map was just like overrun. It's just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. You know if your DPS is good enough or not, but for sure.
Yeah, there are fucking spikes around like every 5 minutes, it seems like. And then I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 on the Steam Deck. I made it to the Gauntlet of Shar, which is, I guess, the temple that I saw from the underground area or whatever.
Correct.
Act 1. And boy, I'm all in on Shadowheart and Shar right now. Like I've answered the right questions and opened up, solved the puzzle. There was that fucking light ring puzzle where like you don't see the one ring, but maybe you don't even see the middle ring, or somehow I lowered the lights to see one ring and I was getting blasted back.
Oh, right, yeah.
So then I lowered all the lights and I could how did it go? I lowered I kept fucking like, okay, I need to put all the lights up. Nope, that wasn't it. I need to put all the lights down. Nope, that wasn't it. Okay, I need to put half the lights up. Nope, that wasn't it. And finally I was like, wait a second. Can I turn the lights off? So I lowered them all, turned them off. I was like, oh, duh. And then I could get through the rings.
Yep.
Which I suppose you could do if you knew where it was without doing the light. Yeah. But then I got down into the underground, and there was a battle with like these orbs that were releasing like shadow figures. So I, focused on the orbs instead of the enemies and shut that down so that no more people would be pouring through the fucking portal.
Yep.
And that felt cool to be like, okay, this, like, every battle is like different, where it's not just like straight combat. It's like, okay, I need to figure out how to approach this, because if I just go attack the enemies, more enemies are going to come. But you got to like this. I think this is the first time where I like examined a thing, where I examined it. And I was like, hey, what's it weak to? What's it strong to? Okay, I need to use like radiant damage here if I have it.
Yeah.
And, that felt really cool. And then when that happened, then the door opened, and then I could go in. Like Balthazar is there with like this big fleshy fucking monster next to it. And I worked through that, and I'm gonna
work through that. How'd you work through that?
Quote unquote help him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna help him to get the relic. But then I went to the back of the room and I tried looking in the mirror, which I didn't think was a bad thing. I should have known by the fact that the mirror was red. And then they just aggroed me immediately, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna save scum. I'm going back and doing this again.
Oh.
So I did not fight him. So they're alive. And I'm going through the gauntlet right now. I just did the first gauntlet where it's the soft step one, and I switched my party where I have Asterion with me this time. So I've got Asterion, I have Shadowheart, my character, and then I have Halsin, which is an interesting mix. But I just sent Asterion in by himself and had him creep around. Yeah, and he brought it back out. It's pretty straightforward. And then I've got, I don't know how many trials there are. Are there a lot?
More than 3.
Wow. Okay. So I'm working my way through that. Is what I'm doing right now.
Less than 10? More than 3? Less than 10?
Jesus.
I don't remember the exact number. But
yeah.
It's somewhere in there.
How did you approach it? Did you kill that guy, Balthazar?
I have killed him. Yes.
Well, I'm sure you've done multiple runs. So what did you do? Have you done both, where you killed him and not killed him?
Yes.
In that first moment, I mean. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I don't trust him. I want to kill him.
I do have a recommendation, but I won't give it.
Yeah, that's fine. But I was like, I don't want to have. I just got through a fight. I don't want another fight. I want to do something besides fighting right now. So I'm just gonna like talk my way through this and then go do the thing, and I'm gonna kill you later because I don't want. I'm not giving you the relic. So. But yeah, just starting to put the pieces together, and yeah, it's the story is just great, man. The narrative is fucking great.
Yeah, this is the Temple of Shar is really neat, and especially getting more and more of Shadowheart's backstory as you're going. It's really interesting. Oh, well, I'm
sorry, go ahead.
Very curious when you get to the end of this, what decisions you'll make, intentionally or unintentionally.
Yeah, but, exactly. Like, what am I gonna fuck up?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what my intention is. My intention is to kill Thorm at the end. That's what I want to do. I think that's what Raphael wants us to do. I think that's what Asterion wants us to do. So.
Oh, the thing that Raphael wants you to do?
Yeah.
That's not the end.
Oh.
That's a side quest in here.
Oh. Okay. I need to go back and read that journal entry. Because I thought it was Thorm, but it might not be Thorm then.
No, I think Thorm is the place, but it's not the end. That's not the end.
Oh, okay. Fuck.
That's just another that just happens to be the fact that Raphael has, again, it's very good writing in the fact that all these characters have reasons to be around these places.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thorm is you have to deal with them.
Yeah.
Like that to progress in any way you have to deal with them, but that is not the end of the Temple of Shar. This is a big place.
Oh man, okay, great.
I'll be here for a while.
I was gonna be here for like the next fucking until January or something.
It's honestly kind of. I'm trying to think of other. I think Temple of Shar is probably their big super dungeon.
Okay.
It's bigger than like the Goblin Camp in a lot of ways. There's just more to do. More. I wouldn't say there is as big of combats all the time, but there's just a lot of side stuff, a lot of
Interesting.
Places to explore, secrets to find, ways to go about it, but it's big. It's real big.
Speaking of secrets to find, I have not played with Asterion since the first like 5 hours or whatever, right? So I'm in Temple of Shar and I get to a door that's like fucking difficulty of 30, and that guy melts it like butter. It's like, holy shit!
You just need a rogue.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm not playing with a rogue. So now that I have a rogue, I'm just like, holy fuck, this is amazing. I just got a bunch of cool shit in here.
Yeah, because Asterion was in my party the first playthrough, and then I was the rogue in my second playthrough.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't use Asterion for that one. It's you don't, as clearly you've seen, you don't have to play with a rogue, but boy, does having a rogue or someone that has very high lock picking, boy, does it change things.
It changes things a lot.
Just like playing a bard in my first playthrough, having very high charisma and persuasion and deception, boy, does that change how you approach the game.
Yeah.
Those DC 30 persuasion checks, and you're like, I got this. You're going to do what I want.
Yeah. It's really interesting, man.
I mean, this is why that friend of mine can play this thing 5 times through and is already thinking of a 6th time.
Because they're fucking different games every time, man.
Yeah.
It's really, and it's still the same good game. Like, like I play Mario Wonder. Fucking amazing game. If I could replay it and it was different, that'd be nuts. Love it.
Here's an aside for Baldur's Gate 3, because you've already gone through this part. The Grim Forge, when you're fighting the Guardian, there's a new thing that people are doing online. Where take any druid with you, Halcyon, if you have him. Oh, he won't be in your party.
He won't be there yet. Yeah.
But make a druid, or you play a druid, or and you leave them up on the stairs to the forge, like where you're doing all the forge stuff. Yeah. You split the party, you leave them there, you go down, do all the forge stuff, get the Guardian to spawn, put the lava in, move the Guardian over to where the stairs are, switch back to your druid, have them transform into an owlbear. And owlbears have like a dive attack that takes into consideration velocity, distance, and weight.
Oh my god.
And from the top rope, the owlbear comes in and does 1,000 damage.
Oh my god. I need to see that video.
That's, and I'm like, great. I kind of just want to play the game to that point just to do this stupid thing.
That's fucking amazing. That would be really fun. What was I gonna ask? Oh,
so dumb.
That's
so good.
I mean, the fucking the barbarian fucking gnomes or whatever. You just fucking throw your party at people is fucking dumb, but amazing. I was gonna say in terms of like intention, like my intention is to kill Thorm if I get to him or whatever. My ultimate intention for this game, for this run, is to get Gale to the Moonrise Towers to get to the Absolute and blow him up. I don't know if I'll be allowed to do that. I don't know if it's going to happen that way, but I am like committed to that canon. At least right now. I don't know if it'll change as I get there. If something else pops up in the story that makes me think differently, like if Gale is like, I don't really want to do this, maybe I won't.
So I will say for that one specifically, because I don't know if you can just trigger it when you want to make it happen, but there was a conversation point. On my second playthrough, I had Gale in my party. And there was a point as I was exploring where a conversation started with Gale. Like I went to a door and like it cut to a conversation with Gale, and it's like, gonna do this, gotta do it. And you have a conversation if he's going to use it or not.
That's interesting because in his wheel, like right now, I can use it.
I know, and I just don't. That's my thing. I just don't know if you can randomly use it and it will trigger that ending, or if that is or if that conversation I had was the point where you trigger that for the ending. I don't know what's gonna happen. I guess you could get in the tower and just see what the hell happens.
Yeah, I can always reload a save if I get.
Yeah, and just see like, all right, I'm gonna be in here in the center of everything, and I'm gonna trigger it. What happens?
Yeah, exactly. Because like my understanding at least is like, maybe I'm wrong, but like, and I'm not trying to end the game, but I feel like this is my canon run for this group. Like, doesn't that roll credits? Isn't that the end? You're not gonna answer that.
No, I won't answer that at all. You can.
I'm
I want to because I want you to do it. I want to see what I want to see. One, I want to hear how you do it
yeah.
and what happens. Because I saved Skunk because I went my second playthrough. I was like in that conversation. I was like, I'm gonna do it both ways because
Yeah.
I'm here and this is clearly my last chance. I want to see what happens.
Right.
But that was through a conversation saying, let's do this.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if you went in and did it any other way, if it would trigger the same thing or if it would be different.
Right, 'cause I imagine that I'm just thinking like I haven't been there, I don't know, but let's just assume the big battle is at the top of the tower. I come in at the bottom of the tower, and I just fucking blow up. Wouldn't that take down the whole tower? You know, but maybe not. So it would just blow me and all my friends up for no reason.
True.
So. Withers swoops in. It's like, you fucking idiots,
you dumbass.
Anyway, this
that's
game
so cool. It's
still
so
fucking
good.
killer.
It's
Still
such
fucking
a good
killer.
game. So supposedly, so that friend, he played his 5th playthrough. He actually played it and got the like epilogue piece that they added.
Oh, yeah, the new one. Yeah.
He's almost certain that they're adding DLC or something else to the game.
Oh.
The epilogue, Withers has something that says that at least through one of them, going like, there's something else afoot. I'm going to call on you again. I think it's not a continuation of this direct story, but I think this has been successful enough that I think they're going to do something else, at least for a couple more levels.
I was going to say past level 12.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it sounds like from putting that line in. It's like, why would you put that in if you don't
like
tend to do anything with it?
Right?
Specifically these characters, the characters you end up like, I'll need to call on you for something else. Which might be killing gods. Who knows?
Well, I mean, yeah. Come on.
At this point, you're getting high enough level. That's going to be part of it. So I'm very curious.
Star.
I think the success of this game might change how Larian approaches things moving forward. Because I don't think they're done with this game at all by any means.
And Wizards,
although Sven said he's working on the next thing himself.
Right.
He's moved off of Baldur's Gate 3.
They've got 400 people. They can.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is that they don't want to lay people off if they can avoid it. So I'm sure they're putting a dedicated team to keep Baldur's Gate going for the time being, and then take part of those people and start whatever they've been spinning up, whatever the next thing is.
It's
because they have the money now to sustain. I would hope at this point, like
it's Exandria.
Oh, that'd be so cool if it was. That would be insane.
Do you know? I know that Sven loves D&D.
Yeah,
I know that he would be aware of Critical Role.
They've done some stuff before.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Matt Mercer did some stuff for BG3, streams and stuff like that.
Well, he did the fucking voice for fucking Minsk. So
yeah, they're somewhat associated. Yeah, I'd be curious if they would do that or not. Who knows? Hard to say.
Who knows?
But my God, it's such an amazing game.
So good, so good. All right. Well, my voice is giving out, so I'm going to say episode 411, Prof and Dev Play Games. If you like us, again, please rate us on your podcast service of choice, and we will be back next week to... Boy, when are we doing Game of the Year? Probably, we always do it first week of January, right?
Yeah, so let's see here. It would, for us, would be New Year's Eve if you wanted to do it.
Oh, fuck.
I'm not doing anything New Year's Eve.
I'm also not doing anything, so
that could be my New Year's Eve excitement.
Yes, there we go.
Game of the Year.
Game of the Year. So maybe then next week we'll be reviewing things we played this year and kind of talking about everything.
Sure.
Because I'm not sure if we'll do a Christmas Eve podcast.
No,
I would assume
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, I am not available Christmas Eve.
Yep. So so next week we'll be talking about everything we've played this year and just kind of like giving our thoughts, and then we'll come back for Game of the Year on the 31st, which will be the 1st of January publishing. So awesome.
Yep. That's a great time. Perfect.
All right, folks. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next week.
Later, everyone.